Welcome back to Over 55. I'd like to introduce our first guest today. It's Barry Smith of the Running Room. I think you're the area manager of what area?
I have. Well, they call it Ontario West.
Oh, whoa, that's a big area.
Well, it is because it's Sarnia, London, Kitchener, Waterloo, Guelph, and then for some reason they threw in Thunder Bay. So I know it's in Ontario and kind of west, but
keeps you running.
Keeps me. Yeah, I'm actually flying up on Tuesday. So.
Good for you. So maybe you can tell us a bit about the Running Room and how it started, and I guess the target market.
It started 26 years ago now, I believe, in Edmonton, in actually a living room. We're a Canadian-based company, and John Stanton, president and founder, took up running and decided that they needed to have a place where they could sell goods, running shoes and things, and they literally started it in a living room, hence the name Running Room. And now we are all across Canada, from coast to coast, 5 or 6 stores in the U.S. now, and I think we're 104 stores strong now.
That's big.
Awesome.
I mean,
yes.
I never thought it was that large.
Oh, it is.
I know my wife shops at your store on Richmond Street,
yep.
And because they help you with what's the proper footwear to use for what particular kind of sport you're in. Or
for what your foot does.
Yep.
The biggest thing what we do, I mean, we sell running clothes, we sell running shoes, we sell running clinics. The big thing with shoes is to make sure you get into the right shoe for your foot type. So we have 3 different categories. We have someone who is what we call a supinator and sort of on the outside of their feet. Pronators roll in a little bit, and then the flat-footed sort of roll in a lot. And depending what your foot does, we can pick a category for you and go from there. So it will make a difference to your running and walking.
Yeah, so it's important when people are out looking for running shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, go to the experts, right? I mean, every store sells them, probably the big box stores, but they're not going to help you with what you should be wearing.
Well, it's just that we've had them all in our feet. We hopefully know what we're doing. I always tell you, you can't just walk into the store and buy the pretty shoe because it's not going to work for you. And as much as I like Oprah, whatever one she's talking about probably isn't going to work for you either. So
well, she gets the big.
She gets
she gets the credit market rates for that. But
like
now you also have clothing.
Yes.
And I'm sure the Wicks properly to let you breathe. And
we tell you cotton's rotten, so cotton will soak up all the moisture and everything. Okay. So all of our material will wick the moisture away. A lot of it now is coming out with UV protection, which is also nice as well. The sun's out now and everything. Right. Even right on down to your feet. We have technical running socks. Again, it will wick the moisture away. Cotton socks will soak up the moisture when your feet perspire.
And it's good to know, even if you're a traveler or you go hiking, or I mean, this stuff's important because it's not just thinking of running; it's getting into any kind of sports.
We've sold a lot of our stuff to people who are going on treks, in China or whatever, because it does sort of pack up really well. You can almost rinse it and wash it in the hotel room. Okay. So it does travel well.
Like our friend Tilly.
Yeah.
Now, do you have clubs within London that you get together and go on a running? Because I've seen some nights in London, there's like masses of hundreds of people running. It's, I don't know if they're part of your group, but there's hundreds out there.
There's a lot, and there's different groups all over the city, really. For us, we have clinics, so those are 10 or 17-week programs that run throughout the year, training maybe for a specific event, so like a half marathon or a 10K. Right. But we also have what we call practice sessions. Those are every Wednesday nights at 6 and every Sunday morning at 8:30, and anybody can come to those. And we have different levels, different groups, and you just talk to the store manager and say, hey, I'd kind of like to maybe walk 5K or run 5K this week. What group should I go with? And we'll be able to set you up to the right group.
Well, that's a great segue into the next one about Weight Watchers.
Yes.
Because they're doing a 5K walk June the 12th, 8:30 in the morning. You guys are working
We are
with them
part
on
of
that.
it. Somehow, John Stanton was on a flight with the gentleman from Weight Watchers, and, invariably it was the partnership that was meant to be, I believe, and this is our 2nd year now. So we just want to get people off the couch and moving. So we're going to do a 5K walk on June
That's
the
a
12th.
two great organizations working together.
Perfect.
And it's you're not pushing the envelope out to the end. You can walk or you can run or just get involved, right?
Yeah.
So what else will you want to tell us about this great, now you're going way up Western Ontario.
Yes, I'm going to Thunder Bay on Tuesday for a few days.
So that store's
check
been
out
there
my
for a
store.
while? Or?
That's been there for 4 or 5 years, So everybody gets a little bit of individual attention.
So you spell spikes on those running shoes for the winter?
Yeah. There actually are little things that you can get for the bottom of your shoes that do have spikes in them.
So that's
runners have everything. What we don't have, we invent kind of thing. So, it's kind of fun. I get to go all over. I get to work at various expos throughout Ontario, and I get to see a lot of people, and it's just fun for me.
So did you start out in London?
I did. I started as the assistant manager in London 13 years ago. became the manager about 6 months after that, and now I'm an area manager. So I know an awful lot of people in London. I like that store. They would come and see me, and it was just fun to be able to talk to people throughout the day. And,
Well, I guess you build up the clientele, and then people get to trust and know that you're selling something to them that isn't just to make a profit on it.
Yeah.
You're also helping, because the worst thing is to go out and walk or not know how to stretch or something and injure yourself.
Well, and there were days too, I know for me as a manager, where if someone came in and I didn't think they were ready for a new shoe or whatever, I didn't sell them one. You know, it's like, let's be honest. I don't, let's not sell it just to sell it. Let's build a rapport, and you know what? Yeah.
And I think that's the important part of going to the same store. You get to know the people. There's a trust built up, and they'll come back.
Yes,
it might be a month but they'll come back, and then they're going to spread the word. So,
Yes.
in summation, anything you'd like to talk about?
We have a lot of fun, and that's the name of the game, really.
Yeah.
We really promote walking as well as running. So, and I think because our name says running room, people kind of forget about walking. So that's one of our great partnerships with Weight Watchers, is we are going to, really promote the walking part of it. I'm finding lately, as I turn 55 this year myself, my knees are not what they used to be. So I'm actually considering training to walk a half marathon in the fall. So,
Good for you.
and walking, it's just as good as running. You don't have to get out there and pound the pavement.
And that's a good point, because we're 55 and older, our show, and a lot of our viewers are over 55 and thinking of running. I just can never run. I can walk forever, but I just can't run. So I can come in and say, okay, here's the shoes. Here's what I'm going to be doing.
Yes. And you'll find that a lot of the bigger events nowadays too, like the Toronto Marathon and New York Marathon, they are all adding walking components.
Oh, great.
So it's kind of great that everybody can now be involved.
And that's good, because I thought, okay, you got to step away from this because you can't.
Yeah,
so,
no,
great,
we
Barry.
can keep everybody moving.
Thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
And we're going to be right back with our on location. It's going to be with Kathy Smith at the Kiwanis Center, interviewing the Honorable Khalil Ramal.